What's up guys, back at it with more Jujutsu Kaisen. As always, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. It helps out and means a ton, but with that being said, we gotta get into it because we got chapter 183 next week. Yeah, we still got a week to wait. So we got a week to wait for Hakari's domain expansion. But last time, we got the name of it at the very end of the chapter, so we can talk about it a little bit. And it's perfect because it has gamble right there in the name. And this of course fits Hakari's character perfectly. The fever that he loves so much is gambling. Gambling is life itself. So, of course, his domain expansion, his curse technique, will involve gambling. Now, the name of the the domain expansion itself is Idle Death Gamble. This, along with the information being uploaded to Charles' mind when the domain expansion was active, leads me to believe that it will at least somewhat be a mix between a typical modern domain expansion and a typical old school domain expansion. A typical old school domain expansion, more like Higuruma's, focuses on putting you within a certain set of rules and making you abide by them. A typical modern domain expansion focuses more on getting a sure hit effect and just being absolutely lethal. Now, the reason I think this could be kind of a hybrid between the two, like I said, is one in the name, Idle Death Gamble, death kind of hinting towards a lethality, but also the rules being uploaded to Charles' mind. The rule set is immediately explained to the opponent. Higuruma's involved him explaining the rule set to Yuji. Also, a gamble is typically a more passive thing. You aren't typically gambling with your fists. Alright, $500 says I can punch you faster than you can punch me. I doubt that's the type of gamble we're going to be doing. The word idle within the name would also go to hint at this. So it's very possible that this is a good mixture between putting your opponent in a rule set and that rule set possibly leading to a lethal outcome. This goes very well in part with the last part of the name, a gamble. Here's the thing about gambling. Yeah, there can be a huge upside, but if you want that huge upside of tripling your money, quadrupling your money, maybe even more, the downside has to get bigger and bigger and bigger. That's the whole point of a gamble. You can't win a whole lot unless you bet a whole lot. Now here's the thing about Hakari. He's a little bit of an eccentric kind of guy. He loves to gamble. So if his domain expansion is going to set you down for a gamble that might extend all the way to life and death itself, you really think Hakari is going to sit back and be the dealer? I don't think so. I think Hakari will be taking place in whatever gamble goes on. I cannot imagine him sitting out. I cannot imagine him not being a part of the gamble. So it's very possible that this domain expansion not only has a very high possible downside for your opponent, it's possible that this domain expansion could have a very large downside for Hakari as well. I don't know if Hakari could possibly accidentally kill himself with his own domain. I don't know about that. Maybe, you never know. He might be a little messed up there. Who knows? That would be a little far. Either way, it is very possible that there's a large downside for Hakari, but this would also provide the possibility at a very, very large upside for him as well. If your own domain expansion could nerf you or hurt you, the possible upside, considering once again a gamble, would have to be huge. Absolutely huge. This would also go to explain Yuta's comments about Hakari earlier in the series without meaning Hakari is just outright stronger than Yuta just normally. This would allow Hakari to possibly reach a higher peak than Yuta, but considering once again it is a gamble, that wouldn't always be the case. Not every time he activates his domain expansion is he gonna just nail that gamble, hit the absolute jackpot, and just ascend past Yuta for the time being. If he gets a decent win at the gamble, might not surpass Yuta. If he loses the gamble, he's obviously not gonna pass up Yuta in strength, if that is how it works. Now, if anybody's worried that a domain expansion that could possibly backfire on you doesn't sound particularly strong, which you think a domain expansion would be pretty strong, one of your better techniques, don't forget there has to be that upside on the other end if it's a gamble, and 2, gamblers have a skill level of their own. That's why you don't see random Joe Schmo off of the street walking into the World Series of Poker, making it to the final round and winning it. That's usually reserved for some of the best poker players in the world. Gambling, at the end of the day, even though there is plenty of luck involved, is a skill that you can get better at. And I'd be willing to bet Hakari is a pretty damn good gambler. So it's very possible that, like Higuruma's domain expansion setting you and Higuruma down for a trial, Hakari's domain expansion could sit you and Hakari down for a gamble. The particular details of said gamble, who knows? You can gamble on anything. I promise you can find a way to gamble on literally anything. Hell, there's probably somebody out there who will bet you whether or not the sun will rise tomorrow. I would take the bet that it would, but I'd have to find that person first. So yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts down below. I love talking about this stuff and I love talking to you guys, but I'm gonna get out of here. I hope you guys enjoyed and I'll see you next time. I'm out.